Charlie O'Hara here this morning in our KSCW studio, ready to answer your legal questions. Give us a call, 436-1212. Good morning, Charlie.
Good to be here.
Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
We are going to go ahead and get on the phones right now. We have a few callers. Good morning. You're on the line with Charlie. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yes, Charlie. Good morning.
Morning.
It was happening in 2012. I had went to Hangers Prosthetic to get my leg adjusted. I just moved here from Oklahoma. And the whatever it was at the Hangers, he had told me not to wear my, that little thing you put on before you put the prosthetic leg.
Okay.
So I didn't. Excuse me?
Go ahead.
He told me not to wear it, so it bust my leg back open, and I had to get my leg cut off some more. So I had contacted the main office of Hangers Prosthetic in Kansas City, and they said that he had did a couple other people like that. So I want to know, is it too late for me to have a mouth? Well, can't pronounce the word.
Well, there are some specific limits on that, and you have to be real careful about that. I don't know the exact dates, but if that happened to you and it caused some more damage, and when you had to have it done is going to be a big key. I think you need to get in and see an attorney quite quickly, because that time may be running. You're talking about 2012, we're now 2013. But certain things kind of, the last day of something happening is when the statute of limitations is what we call it, the length of time you can file something. And it kind of depends on what's going on in a case. So that's something that you ought to get right with an attorney and see if there's a claim and see if you can do something. I wouldn't wait very long at all.
Well, and we've had calls like this before where they think they have time, but time's already run out. I mean, you may only have a year or 2 year, maybe even just 5.
Yeah, well, it just depends on what kind of a case it is and some facts about it. Most malpractice cases, they don't extend them very long, so once it happens, you need to make your mind up what you're going to do and get it done and get to an attorney so you know the time frame and what you're dealing with.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Good luck with that. We're going to go ahead and hit up the next phone call. Hi there. Good morning. What's your question?
Yes, I have a question. I've been separated for a couple of years and wanting to get a divorce. That noticed that I have life insurance on my husband that I've been paying for and I'm the owner of. And now there's some new law that says that if we get a divorce, I cannot have that. I have to give it to him. Am I reading that wrong, or is that correct?
Well, I'm not specifically sure which law you're referring to. Usually that would be some property of the divorce. I mean, if you were married, that's kind of property of the divorce, I would think. And I think what happens with that is that the judge gets a hold of it and decides what to do with it. Now, there may be some restrictions that apply there, but I think, again, as I'm saying, I mean, when you have these kind of legal questions like you have and the caller before us had, what you need to do is get a hold of an attorney. Most attorneys will talk to you the first time without any payment, and you need to find out where you are and what's going on and whether you need to get an attorney involved in that situation. If you're going to get a divorce, you've been separated a couple of years, it's probably time to get the proceeding going, because you're going to have more problems with more assets or more bills that come along. So it's probably something you ought to get taken care of.
Well, I mean, if you're still married at this point and your spouse accrues any type of debt or anything like that, I mean, couldn't you still be responsible for it?
You could, depending on how they do it. That's why you really ought to be a little bit active in getting in and getting something decided. I mean, waiting for something to go away is not a good solution to most problems.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. We're going to go ahead and take one more phone call, I believe. Do we have one on the line?
Yes.
Hi there, good morning. What's your question?
Yes. We got a judgment against a gentleman, and we've had it renewed several times, and I'm wondering if he moved out of his home and tried to sell this house, would we automatically get our payment?
Well, actually, most judgments do attach to the real estate property. Now, if you trade that property in for another piece of property, most people, if they sell their house, they buy another house.
Right.
And so usually that, you don't get to take the money out of there when that happens. Again, it's a judgment you ought to keep alive. There's our attorneys that collect judgments. That's what I would recommend you do for a percentage, and they'll try to really go after those people. If you want to do it yourself, you can, but it's kind of difficult to do. But again, I think the best situation to do in a lot of these cases is to get hold of an attorney.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Good to see you again. Thanks for giving us your time. We appreciate it.